What's up, Neznation? It's great to see you. This is not your average video. I haven't done a video like this in a long time, but I have a lot to say about this article that bashes Meet Kevin, because it's not just about Kevin, who's somebody I really admire and respect. This is something that affects all of us as creators, online business owners, YouTubers, live streamers, podcasters. It affects all of us. And it's very, very dangerous. And we're going to talk about it right now. If you don't know who Meet Kevin is one of the top content creators, YouTubers in the personal finance, real estate investment, stock investment space. And he's just a terrific. I'm very impressed with this young man. Kevin, if you're watching, big thumbs up to you. There was an article published by the New York Times. Kevin actually did an amazing response to this, and he really took it in stride, and he didn't let it stop him, which I'm so proud of you, Kevin. You're doing your thing. You're creating, great content. You're helping people. You're running your businesses. And sometimes, an article like this, or even just, never mind an article, but even just like a hate comment, can really stifle you or derail you. And so I just want to give a big kudos to you, Kevin, for the way that you handled this, your composure, your dignity, your ability to handle this so professionally and just not allow it to stop you from doing what you want to do. I'm just really, really impressed. My hat's off to you. I'm going to take a completely different route. I'm not taking this article lightly at all. I'm gonna go a little bit, maybe not harsher, but just hopefully show you what this mentality of this article, how this really berates and maligns what us as content creators do. And I'm going to kind of stop and pause and comment on it as we get into it. But let's just go ahead and read it. So the tone of the article right off the bat, I want you to look at this. Why finance gurus switched their bait from millions to thousands of dollars. Their YouTube videos went from promising proprietary secrets for achieving wealth to any little update on the stimulus, and the viewers came rolling in. Let me know in the comments down below the way that article is titled, "Little Updates on the Stimulus." Promising proprietary secrets for achieving wealth. The tone of this is, and the viewers came rolling in. Mr. Adlin Jackson, who wrote this article, and I'm begging you, Neznation, don't go after this author. Don't go after. I do not condone, spreading hate. I do not condone attacking people, even if it seems that you're in the right. This is a channel all about, positivity, having thoughtful conversations, helping each other, inspiring one another, bringing more humanness to this digitalness. And so I don't want to see any of you guys go after this person, but right away, the tone of this is just so negative and biting, and just it's attacking right off the get-go. Anyway, let's keep going here. This is another thing too, and Kevin mentions this in his response video. He keeps calling him by his last name, almost like on purposely just being disrespectful. Like the guy's brand and his channel is, first of all, his name's Kevin, but his channel name is Meet Kevin. And the way that he kind of just addresses him by constantly using his surname and not his brand name, already right there, you're seeing an adversarial kind of position. But look at some of this language here. A year ago, they were promising to share their proprietary secrets for achieving wealth, staging monologues in the driver's seats of luxury cars and poolside on cruise ships. The thumbnails, it's just biting and negative, buffoonish facial expressions, glaring yellow text. The thumbnails on their channels have kept their usual style. Like, whatever happened to having fun? Like, sorry for having fun. Like, buffoonish? That's just so, like, that's attacking. Personal finance influencers turned out to be naturals for this part. They were already performing as the shamans of a core American mythology, that though the world may be divided into the haves and have-nots, the only thing standing between you and life among the haves was some arcane savvy. No, actually, what really stands apart, and Kevin talks about this a lot on his channel, What allows you to have anything in this amazing country of ours is hard work, dedication, busting your hump, constantly evolving, constantly adapting, a ton of determination, a ton of perseverance, a high tolerance for overcoming failure after failure after failure. Let me tell you something, Mr. Jackson, and every creator watching, because this is the whole gist of this video. This kind of mentality, belittling how hard it is to create value on these platforms. Like, Kevin has helped more people than I guarantee you. Okay, I still work at the universities, even though I'm busy running businesses. The reason I started my YouTube channel back in 2016, this main channel at least, is because I was approached by a student of mine who said, Professor Nez, I paid $100,000 for a piece of paper, aka a diploma, a degree, and nobody will hire me. And that's because these students are so underserved in these universities and these institutions. They're absolutely being taken advantage of. They're not learning anything real, and they're spending exorbitant amounts of money, absolutely plummeting themselves into insurmountable debt. It's a tragedy. I started my YouTube channel because I wanted to give it all away for free. I wanted to help. I wanted to inspire. And let me tell you something, Mr. Jackson and New York Times, shame on you. I run 2 businesses. I'm a husband. I've got 2 kids. I'm a father. I've got a mortgage. I've had every job you can pretty much imagine. I helped my mother start her retail business when I was 13 years old, leather shoe and handbag store. I've worked in the public sector, the private sector, and I can tell you without a shadow of hyperbole, doing YouTube, running a YouTube channel, is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. It's the hard. You think this stuff is easy, like making sure your lighting is good, making sure your background is good, your audio is, investing money, understanding how to communicate, how to really make sure that you optimize these thumbnails and marketing and sales and strategy. I mean, it's a production. You're the producer, you're the creator, you're the talent, you're the executive producer, the marketing manager, you're the distributor, you're the PR person. I mean, people think that this stuff is easy. I'm not saying that I'm not lucky. I'm very lucky, and I'm sure Kevin would say the same thing. But this whole article is belittling. And the reason I'm creating this video is because I'm afraid it's going to dissuade everybody. I'm afraid it's going to prevent creators. It's basically putting all YouTubers into one bucket. Just a bunch of shady, cringy snake oil salesmen who just turn on a flip phone and all of a sudden put out all this content. That's just not how it works, brother. Anyway, let's get back into this. Influencers were exactly like you, they promised. It's just that they had cracked the code and would, in their magnanimity, break a taboo. What's the taboo? What's the taboo that we're breaking? To share its secrets with you. What is the taboo? I'm confused. Sharing knowledge is the taboo? Helping people to, actually do something with their lives and maybe even try something new and maybe even break out of their miserable 9-to-5 or their miserable, job or work where they're being underpaid, underserved, underappreciated. It's thankless. What is the taboo here? I'm so curious what the taboo is. And what do you mean by magnanimity? There's no code to crack. I mean, Meet Kevin is very transparent with what he does and how he does it and how he offers his solutions. I have an academy of courses where I teach people how to brand themselves, how to understand this thing called the internet, how to, start on different platforms, how to build your presence, which leads to income and thought leadership. I have courses like that. It's not magnanimity. That's a lot of hard work. And plus, it's a win-win. I get paid for these amazing courses, and they get to learn how to go start their own business. They get to learn how to make money in very new and exciting ways, doing something that they love. Where is this taboo and this icy, cold, negative, just very, very downtrodden tone? Where is this coming from? Okay, so I'm going to jump ahead here. By the way, I'm going to leave a link in the description to this article so you can check it out for yourself. I'm just kind of jumping forward here, but I want to pay attention to one specific line here. By the way, don't forget, this is not a article written by a Russian publication, a Chinese publication, or any kind of Eastern, non-American publication. I want you to really pay attention to this right here. This is interesting right here. So he was talking about, he was basically belittling Meet Kevin's, updates on the stimulus and saying that he was just acting as some sort of like, sounding board for the marginalized and just people who are desperate for change and desperate for something to happen from their government, which couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, Kevin is giving his expertise on what's going on and trying to make sense out of a lot of the politicalized language that's difficult to discern. But this is something I want to point out to you. This is really, really an interesting paragraph here. Then you remember the neon advertisements behind him and the exhortations to go from zero to millionaire and beyond. I've never seen that on me, Kevin's channel. That Paffrath, again, not calling him by his brand or his channel name, a multimillionaire landlord who once extolled the virtues of misleading tenants and vigorously, what kind of an adverb is that? Refusing to rent to people with suboptimal credit scores. Nobody wants to rent to anybody with suboptimal credit scores. I mean, that's like policy. That's protocol. That's called smart business. Would you rent to somebody? Would you rent your property out to somebody who has suboptimal credit score? I mean, no, you can't get a car. You can't get a house. You have to have a certain credit score. Hello? Has come to be an exasperated avatar for emergency economic relief for the neediest, most of whom would be spending it on rent. Feels deeply, typically American. What does that mean, Mr. Jackson? What does that mean, New York Times? Deeply and typically American. Is this an anti-American slur? Boy, I wonder if this was said, in a different type of journal or publication. I wonder what everybody, would be complaining about. I wonder what Twitter would be saying about something like this. Deeply and typically American. That's an anti-American sentiment. What is deeply and typically American? What do you mean by that? That trying to actually do something for yourself, pull yourself up by your own bootstraps, putting in a lot of hard work and having the ability to do whatever you want in the greatest country on planet Earth. What is deeply and typically American? To try to start a business, it's the American way to work your butt off, try to start something from scratch and do something that you love so you can be happy and still provide for your family. That's the American way. Give me one other country you can do that in with such, so many resources available to you. I don't really understand that comment. And I actually am shocked. This is coming from an American publication, the New York Times. I mean, the way that you're, Mr. Jackson, I beg you, this is dangerous rhetoric. This is dangerous rhetoric. You're basically, setting a precedent. You have no idea what the power of this article could potentially have. And I'm here to combat that. It's a negative energy that you're putting out there. It's a negativity that you're blanketing everybody who's trying to do something unique, trying to do something different, trying to create value for audiences. Yes, are there a lot of scammers? Of course. Are there a lot of snake oil salesmen? Of course. But there are in every single industry and vertical. Look at the university system. If there's one thing that COVID has exposed, it's exposed the lack of innovation, the lack of adaptation, the lack of care for their student body. It's all been exposed by COVID. Give me an industry that is devoid of that. Mr. Jackson, you're doing a huge disservice. And if you're a creator and you're watching this, if you're a content creator, if you're a business owner and you're watching this, I beg of you, do not let this article derail you or dissuade you. This is the greatest country on earth. You have so many opportunities. This thing right here, you can actually start an entire business with just what's in your back pocket. There's so many opportunities online. There's so many opportunities besides just YouTube, but creating content on TikTok, monetizing Instagram, monetizing Facebook, if you actually provide value. There's a million ways to do it. I've got a ton of videos on my channel talking about all the various things that you can do right now, legitimate ways, okay, that you can earn extra money, maybe start a side hustle, maybe start a side job, and actually maybe hopefully eventually turn it into your main job, like I did. This is dangerous rhetoric. I beg of you, don't listen to this. I have, like I said, I've done a million things, and YouTube is the hardest thing I've ever done. And when I get comments 2 a.m. where somebody says, Nez, your video changed my life, it's not about views. It's not about subscribers. It's not about vanity metrics. It's about the actual impact. And I know Kevin gets this too, because I watch Kevin's channel and I learn so much. I mean, just going through the CARES Act and how that affects mortgages, what he talked about, 6-7 months ago, I actually made a decision based on that, and it helped me enormously. So content creators, please, I beg you, do not listen to this. Do not pay heed to this. Mr. Jackson in the New York Times, you should be ashamed of yourself for publishing this. It's anti-American, it's anti-entrepreneurial, it's anti-individualism, it's anti-critical thinking, which is what makes us human, is critical thinking and critical discernment. And so I beg you, if you have any, I'd love to hear from you guys. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Maybe you disagree with me. That's totally fine. I'd love to hear from you. I respond to all the comments personally. And by the way, make sure that you hit that like button if you got any value from this video at all. I am Professor Nez, personal branding coach. I run an online business with my wife where we help executives and professionals and online business owners brand themselves online. I love to inspire you to grow your impact and your income online, and I absolutely love creating content for you guys. So make sure that you subscribe, because I am giving you brain-busting content every single week. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the... before you go check these videos out, please. Especially this one right here. This is the one I was talking about, the side hustles. Go check that one out right there. So I'm not going to say goodbye. I'll see you in the next video.